Stop in a bit.
All right, fam, what's up? Season 8, episode
Ocho.
numero 5, or as Tanard would like to say, cinco. The evening juice with LemonCityLive. It's your boy Vinny Vegas, producer Fungus, guy Larry Fresh, NFL Stradamus over there, Achilles, Team Flores. I'm also on Team Flores. Yo, back
We
for
got
the
the
first
gang
time.
back
Tanard
together.
Davis, bro. The whole gang's back together, bro.
whole
The
bang.
Morning Juice gang.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. If you're
quarterback.
we got a jam-packed show for you today. We got so much NFL talk. We got upsets. We got legal issues. Oh my God, so much stuff. We got some Heat talk. We got some Ice Cats. So if you're watching,
there's a lot.
There's so much. We're gonna get all into it. If you're watching on our Facebook page. You're watching on our Twitter page. And you're also watching on the 5 Reasons YouTube network, or you're watching tomorrow on our YouTube page or on our Twitch page. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to 5 Reasons Sports. Let's get into it. NFL Stradamus, bro. What you got for us, man?
Well, I got to give you my juice and my phonies, bro.
Oh, true that.
I'm always ready, bro. I'm always ready. What do you guys want to start with?
Edwin, your hairstyle looks like you're selling methamphetamines, man.
Hey, bro, don't be jealous because of this luscious Latucci, this lettuce I got going here, bro. Man. Look how nice this is, bro. It's nicer than that foliage you got back there.
Really good.
What you don't know is that Edwin discovered that methamphetamines is actually a good leave-in conditioner, and that's why he looks so good.
And it smells great too. All right, what do you guys? You want the juice or you want the phony?
Give us the juice.
The juice.
With bad news though, then give us the juice.
Okay, all right. Then I'll start with my phony.
Yeah.
My biggest phony of the weekend is that guy right there. That dude right there. I got receipts. He wanted to hop on the Joe Burrow Bengal bandwagon all weekend, talking about that's his quarterback. Yeah, that guy talking about that's his quarterback and he loves him so, Joe Burrow. You totally abandoned Tannehill. You abandoned your boy Baker Mayfield. You watch OBJ scoring touchdowns for the Rams, which he wasn't doing with your boy. You saw all that blow up in your face all in one weekend, and you tried to jump ship. That's the biggest phony of the weekend. Boom.
Do I have a way of defending myself?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we got the receipts on this one, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not denying what I said. Baker Mayfield is still my guy. Ryan Tannehill is still my guy.
But he's not your quarterback. They're just your guys. They're not your quarterback anymore.
Yeah, convenient.
Guy. Now, I've always been a fan of Joe Burrow.
Yo.
Because for one, he was hurt. So I couldn't really talk about him. I got to talk about Ryan Tannehill. I got a chance to talk about Baker Mayfield. Now, the one thing I will give you, Edwin, is Ryan Tannehill made me want to fly to Tennessee and slash his goddamn tires in that division championship. I was really disappointed. But you cannot never tell me that I was never a Joe Burrow fan because I never told you, but he was always and you know I root for underdogs, regardless of the fact if he won the Heisman, regardless of the fact that he won a national championship. When he left Ohio State, he was a forgotten man. And that's why I became his fan.
That's when it was.
You could be a fan, but doesn't mean he's your quarterback.
Get out of here.
Bing bong.
Listen, all right. It's over. All right. You're the phony. Let's move on to the next. Who else has their phony? Who wants to go?
I'll go, bro. My phony is, bro, just the NFL in general still dealing with all these racism fucking issues, bro. Like, why can't... They're just gonna be? They're never gonna change, bro. NFL is gonna be good old boy shit from now to the end of time.
Solid.
That's my phony.
Quick on that though, Gus.
Yeah.
There's a good old boy system in every job. So it's the NFL just at a different magnitude.
Yeah.
Now, it came out, it was shitty. You know, Bill Belichick thinking he was texting Brian Flores.
Brian Dable, yeah.
Was texting another Brian. Who has that happen to? A lot of people. That's why you got to change their names up. You put Brian Dolphins, Brian New York. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got a problem. But it's the good old boy system in whatever job you got. Basketball, football, hockey. It just sucks that it had to be Brian Flores because he's going to him doing this, suing, he's kind of he's never getting back in the NFL.
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And we're going to break it down. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. I just want to get through everybody's phony. Let's go. Achilles.
Go ahead.
Oh, Tom Brady, as always.
Tom Brady is your phony?
The stupid clown comes out here's like, hey, his retirement's renounced. No way. I'm going day to day. And then he just waited another day to put out a bullshit, boring-ass Instagram, bro.
Wow.
Everything about him is so cringy and annoying.
No.
And I can't wait to never hear about this freaking clown ever again.
Wow.
And then he announced it today, and he gets dunked on by the awesome Brian Flores. Tom Brady can suck it. Just leave. We're done with you. You're retired. Get out of here already, bro.
All right. Fair enough.
His dad, oh, no, I know for sure he hasn't said anything. And then 2 days later, you do it anyway, bro? Stop it.
I love it.
I
get you.
My biggest phony is every NFL team that has a bad organization saying that your quarterback is not the reason you can win. Quick example, Joe Burrow went to the Cincinnati Bengals, changed their whole organization around. They're the Cleveland Browns themselves. Matt Stafford, who left Detroit, went to the Rams and took them to the championship. That organization sucks. So any organization that says that is not the quarterback is trash because your best quarterback, Detroit, was Matt Stafford. And you're never going to have a quarterback that ever like that again. Kudos to him, man.
Yeah, happy for him. All right, who wants to go?
I need some clarification. So are you saying that they should blame their quarterbacks that suck or that I don't really get it.
No, he's saying
it's the organization. Now, because they had Carson Palmer and they imploded that. So they took a chance on Joe Burrow, got him weapons. His O-line just sucks, but he got it done. So it's the organization, it's not the quarterback. We cleared that up.
Yeah, he's the only guy to get sacked 9 times in a playoff game and still win.
But Tua has the best accuracy ever.
Oh, shut up. All right, give me who's getting the juice. Give me who are you giving the juice to then, Achilles? Who are you giving it to?
Rafa Nadal, bro.
You stole mine, dude.
The guy goes out there. You know what? I love about him is that if I was like, he looks like me if I spent a week playing tennis out in Australia with the thinning hair and like the shiny face from getting sunburned. You know what I mean? Like I can appreciate it. And he goes out there, old man, down 2 sets and come back and wins it anyway to become the all-time Grand Slam champion, winner champion.
Wow. Stole my thunder.
Dumbass Novak Djokovic is at home because he's a walking super spreader.
Yeah. You stole my thunder. Just to piggyback on it, I thought that with there was a lot of great storylines, a lot of easy juice to give out, plenty all weekend long. But to me, I thought the historical significance, some goat juice was really needed here. And that was with Nadal here because we've been so fortunate that for the last, 20 years, we've had 3 Michael Jordans playing at the same time in one sport, watching, it's all 3 of them have 20, even though Novak is an idiot now, but still he's got 20 major, Grand Slams. All 3 of them were tied. And here comes Nadal, who hadn't played the last 2, because of injury, was contemplating retiring because of a serious foot injury, just comes back down 2 sets. Like everything was just beautiful, wonderful. It was a great story. And again, someone said, I don't know where I heard it, but someone said it, like tennis has had 3 Michael Jordans playing at the same time, and we've been so fortunate and we forget about it. But yeah, that was my juice. Some historical goat juice there, a little tennis variety. Who wants to, what about you guys?
My juice is Cincinnati, the city of Cincinnati.
The whole city.
30 years. They haven't seen anything extraordinary when it comes to championship, anything in sports.
Yeah.
You know, the Reds, but they found a way with the Bengals, and those fans deserve to have the juice. When they win, they're going to have the whole goddamn farm of juice making.
I already saw that. They made it.
They don't have to worry about another championship again for 30 years. They're good.
The city of Cincinnati announced that schools will be closed the day after the Super Bowl. That's how big it is.
That's how it should be.
I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good one. All right, solid. All right, Cincinnati juice, Midwestern juice. What do you got, Gus?
All right. I like Tanard with some orange juice there, bro.
Oh.
All right, me. There you go. All right. For me, thank you. I wanted to go with just Matthew Stafford, bro. The guy has been deserving of this opportunity for his whole career. And I think it goes to show that just because you're a great quarterback doesn't mean you can get it done by yourself, Edwin. You still need to be part of a good organization like the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Just look at the team that's playing in the other side of the Super Bowl. The Bengals won 4 games last season. That's a trash organization. But this one guy came in and everybody's
he's not
the reason they won these games. He's not the reason they won these games.
Hold on, listen.
All he did was his job, but he's not the reason. I'm not going to listen to your insanity. I'm not going to listen to your insanity, bro. Nah, you're completely wrong. I already know where you're going, and you're wrong. They won those games because of their defense and because they have a monster kicker, bro.
I didn't say that he's the reason why. I'm saying they are rallying around Joe Burrow more than they ever did for that coach or anybody else on that team prior to Burrow being there. You can have a guy that you
rallying around Joe Burrow. What the hell does that even mean?
The coolest motherfucker out there doing stuff and making other players better. He's not the only reason they're winning, but he is the biggest change from what that team was before he got there to what it is now. Because him and Jamar Chase are killing it. But it's an infectious thing, bro. Those guys know and they do something and they make people around them better. That's the big difference. That's why I'm saying it. That team won 4 games last season and has been a perennial team.
Stop saying it proves you wrong.
No, it doesn't.
Of course, he didn't play last year. What are you talking about?
He played 10 games last season and won 4 of them.
And listen, I won't never listen to a guy who looks like he's gonna abduct somebody's kids. Like I'm never gonna. Like the way you're looking right now, all your crap is gone. Like Joe, you have to have an organization back you sometimes. And
yeah, man,
Stafford, he went to the Rams and look at it. Come on,
yeah, dude.
The Rams are a better run team. I'm just telling you, you can have a guy with a trash organization. That's why he couldn't do it in Detroit, because that's a trash organization.
I'll agree.
And I'm telling you, and he goes to the Rams, a better organization, and he wins. Cincinnati has always been a trash organization. The thing that's changed is not Zachary Taylor. Is this? We don't look at him the same way we look at McVay. McVay is a savant. Did you see this video of him recalling? I think I sent it to you guys in the chat. Recalling plays from like 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're telling him, okay, 3rd quarter, when you were in Washington, 4th and this didn't happen, and he told you exactly what happened, the play call and everything. The guy is a savant. We don't look at Zachary Taylor the same way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, there's a big difference.
He coached with the guy for almost a decade. He's going to know his tendencies. So it's like a Tony Romo call a play before the play happens. He knew the guy from 2015. That's why he was able to call it.
I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is McVay, he's showing you that the guy is like on another level of coaching. You know what I mean? Like he's so in tune. And the Zach Taylor guy hasn't really shown you anything like that. He's a good coach. He's managed to steer the ship into how many wins did they have this season?
If you play a team 3 years in a row and the head coach of that team is one of your best friends, you can be able to call you can tell what was on the back of his hand. So it's not like Sean McVay did anything that was like spectacular. He knows the guy, so he was able. I
don't think you know the what I'm talking about. Though. I think we're on different things here. I'll send you the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's move on because we're gonna go back and forth there. We got what?
Anyways, all I'm saying is that Joe Burrow by himself did not turn the team around.
I didn't say he turned it around by himself.
You said they rallied around him, and that's
They
why
rallied around him. You could rally around a guy. The freaking Angels rallied around a monkey and won a World Series in 2002. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, it was a rally monkey. Dennis knows what's up, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a thing. You can have something like. I'm not saying he's the sole purpose that they won. I'm just saying he is something that made them better.
More so, wow. You know what made
hot take everyone.
Yeah,
Joe
seriously.
Burrow made the Bengals better.
I'm saying he made them better.
Do you know what made them better? Do you know what made them better,
coach.
Edwin? Do you know what made Joe Burrow make the Bengals better? Is that he just went out there and he did his job like a competent quarterback. He's not out there doing some fucking all-world quarterback shit. He just played like a normal good quarterback. But so a lot of players on that team also played really well. Jamar Chase had a fucking great-ass season. The Cincinnati Bengals got hot at the very end of the season, and they are the reason why they won these playoff games.
Gus,
Not the offense.
You're right, Gus.
Thank you.
Now, okay, so the offense had nothing to do with scoring points.
I literally just said that Joe Burrow went out there and he did what he was supposed to do.
He didn't Jimmy G the game. He didn't Garoppolo the game. Come on, bro.
I didn't say he game managed.
That's what you're saying. He did what he had to do.
He did what he's supposed to do. He went out there and he played like a competent quarterback.
He played like a baller, dude. The guy went out there and did what he had to do, like you said, and he's been doing it the whole playoffs. He was Joe Cool every week, and the guy is only in his second season, bro. Like, get out of here. We're not supposed to see anything at this level, bro. And he went into Kansas City and played and matched up without any fear against Patrick Mahomes. Like, come on.
We haven't seen anything at this level. Mahomes did it too in 3 years.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Mahomes. And that's why I'm telling you, Mahomes and Burrow are in that same category to me. Unlike a guy like maybe, let's say, Justin Herbert or Tua or any of these other guys that are still a notch below. Like, this guy's shown you that it's just he's on it. Just sit back and enjoy that we're watching a new crop of quarterbacks, the Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows, the Mahomes. This is a whole new era, bro. It's great.
You get mad at me for saying get rid of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Like, no, we need the old guys. I love greatness. Well, no, bro, enough with that.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 100% on that. All right, so we're talking about it. We're in the lead up to the Super Bowl. We've had a phenomenal playoffs, right? Wild card was a little suspect.
The only thing the wild card showed is that the expanded playoffs are stupid.
Yeah.
Just leave it the way it was because it's super exciting.
No, yes. I expanded playoffs. It was awesome.
They were terrible. What are you talking about? All those games were terrible.
No, the blowouts, yes, but like
they were all blowouts in the wild card.
But I'm saying you just but those teams should have the opportunity to play still.
Why? They did it before, and the playoffs were perfectly fine. And then they did it twice now, and none of those teams have done anything because they're not good.
The best divisional games possible. Those divisional games were amazing. Also, the blowouts were amazing.
Look,
they were
I agree with TD on this. I thought that the wild card leading up to it, on paper, it was really good. You had really good divisional matchup games there that were interesting. Going into it, did it produce? I think when you compare it to what happened divisional round and now in the conference round, it's hard to obviously.
No, we were talking about that being the worst slate of playoff games ever.
Okay, maybe I don't think it was the worst. I don't think it was the worst. It wasn't as good as advertised.
Bad, bro.
Anyway,
it was bad.
Let's move on from the wild card though.
It was bad.
I also think
something is something.
Come on, dude.
Bad.
It does make the end of the regular season a lot more exciting also because it was close.
That's like being excited because you make it the eighth seed. No one actually cares. Congratulations, you're gonna get throttled by the first seed. Wow,
there was
exciting.
You know, just like who was the number one seed that got throttled, or not throttled, but they got their ass kicked. Tennessee. Just letting you know in case you forgot.
Whatever.
Anyway, all right. So the wild card was, but divisional round was considered one of the best ever. And then the conference championship, we had two banana games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. So
you know what a lot of people don't talk about? When these number one seeds that they have that bye week and that team that they're playing has momentum, that one seed should be worried. Because a lot of the one seeds are getting up, or these top seeds were getting upset by the fact that they had that bye week and they lost all their mojo going into that game, and they lose those games, and you're like, oh, the moment was too big for that team, and the other team was able to take advantage of it. Nah, that bye week, you rest and you come back and try to get your momentum. Sometimes that goes against you. I would like to go in the playoffs without a bye and stay hot. But like the Rams, the Niners did, because you got to keep the momentum going. So those teams that had those high seeds, I think it worked against them. Like clearly because they're
specifically because the team they have to play had to play a game to advance. So they're all jacked up like, we won, we survived, let's go. And you're just like, I had a nice day with the family. We relaxed this week. It was great.
It always happens one of two ways here. You either have what happened to the Packers, what happened to the Titans this year, where they obviously the bye week ended up hurting them, or you have what always happened to the Patriots, which they would come in every Super Bowl that Brady won was won as like a number 1 seed, I think, and he was always having the bye and he was chilling, and they knew how to get by that. Like you either totally disregarded it and just kicked your opponent's ass when you played them, or you did a Titans or Packers. There's never like an in between. It's always like we talk about the bye team like they blew it. They shouldn't have played, or like you don't even realize it that they had a bye. You're like, oh damn, they're there again.
Don't quote me though. Dennis can be able to confirm this. I think Tom Brady had 2 bye weeks in his Super Bowl tenures that he was able to have 2 bye weeks and was able to win, but the rest he had to play into it.
I think it was the other way around. I think every one he had to go, every championship he had to go through. He went as a 1 or 2 seed, and remember before the 2 seed would also get a bye. So he always had that first round bye.
He always had that first round bye.
That was always the criticism, was that he always had it. Oh, he can't win his way in when he had to. Yeah, he had a bye for every title. So see, all right. Can we? I gotta ask. Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl. What is it? LVI 56.
Who knows? I don't
56. Yeah.
Oh, Super Bowl live backwards.
Yeah, Super Bowl. Super Bowl dyslexia here. LVI. I don't know what I'm spelling here, but can we stop with the Roman numerals? Like, when are we gonna? Can we embrace just numbers? Can we just say Super Bowl 2022?
Look,
leave that alone. Let the NFL have that. We're not trying to have the NBA bullshit. Let us have the Roman numeral. We're not changing that.
But can we get more creative though? Like remember the old school days?
Rocky ruined it for everybody.
Wait, Dennis, remember the old school days when we would have like really cool logos for every Super Bowl, like Super Bowl 30, Super Bowl 32? What was the Super Bowl you went to, TD?
Shit. I think
he didn't have to deal with those dumb numbers. He just knows he was at the Super Bowl.
See?
It was like 40.
I can go check.
It was Super Bowl 2006. That's when he went. You know what I'm saying? So if we were on the year system, it would have been a lot better here. Proving my point. But anyway, back then they had the little logos. I thought the logos were cool. There was a little creativity to the city that was the host city, things like that. Oh, XLI. There you go. That was what 41?
Yeah.
If my numerals are correct. I don't know how it works.
I'll never get it right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Edwin's shirt size.
Yeah. All right, nicely done. Anyway, all right, so everything lived up to the hype. Let's talk about the first game, or what was the first game on Sunday?
Yeah, Bengals Chiefs.
That was the first game, right? Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember the order. Okay, Bengals Chiefs. Let's just get right to it, man. It's 21-3. Chiefs are rolling late in the first half here. What did any of you have? Did any of you have any feelings as far as like the Bengals being able to pull something off here, honestly, or were you guys like, oh, it's over, wrapped up?
I was wasting my time watching the U.S. men's national team lose to Canada, but we had it in the small screen.
Bus.
Oh God, we had it in the small screen, and I looked over and I was like, oh no, this game's over.
Yeah.
Oh well, I love you, Joe Cool, but damn.
I believe.
What was that, Titty?
Oh, you sure you did?
The fact.
Yeah, TD thought he was like, "That's my quarterback. I know he's gonna do it."
When they went down 23, when it was down 3-21, I felt like when they stopped them right before that half, even though they got the ball back, I still feel like they had a chance. I feel like that was a momentum swing. I don't know what happened I don't know what the Chiefs did when they went into the half and they changed the whole game plan. I'm still confused on that. Like, what did you do? Because you didn't score a point in that. But the Bengals went into the halftime, and clearly they changed whatever they was doing and was able to figure it out and put themselves in position for a Super Bowl. But I believed. But I'm being dead ass serious. I believed. I did.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if I believed, but I didn't rule them out. I felt like all playoffs this season, we've seen this. Brady did it the week before.
Yep.
The Rams the Rams were up big, and then Brady came back all of a sudden.
That game was rigged, though. We've talked about it.
Of course, you say, yeah.
That's the most rigged game I've ever seen in the history of sports, bro.
But the point is, we've been seeing it, and ever since 28-3 with the Falcons, like 21-3 is like, oh, that's still doable, you know? So I'm like, that's still. So I wasn't ruling them out. I guess I wasn't thinking that they would come back, but I wasn't thinking like, oh, the game's over. I was like, all right. I'm
gonna agree with you that ever since the Falcons, you feel like every big lead is still surmountable.
I think it's safe,
but you would think that they would learn from the Falcons and not like keep your foot on the fucking gas. What are you doing?
We say this every time.
They always lose the same dumbass way. Like history repeats itself if you don't learn your history, assholes.
Yeah, run the ball for Christ's sake. They never do that anymore. Like, oh, we have a lead. I know what we need to do. 6 bombs in a row. All flat. What is it? What's the
streaks? All streaks.
Go streaks. That's what we need. What's that, TD?
It's called go routes.
Yeah, bro. Just 5 go routes, man. They were even sending the backup tight end on a go route. Like, get out of here.
28-3 isn't enough. 13 seconds isn't enough anymore. And no lead is safe in the NFL. Period. Ever.
You were so right. 13 seconds seals the deal.
Yeah.
No, doesn't anymore. Not in this NFL. Dan Marino days.
Maybe.
Yeah. So let's ask the question here, man. Did Mahomes choke? Because I think obviously you're going to say the Chiefs choked, but since we don't like to give all the credit to the quarterback when they win, we're going to give all the credit when they lose here. So did Mahomes choke here in the second half? Because I'll tell you, my watching him play the first half and watching him play the second half was like 2 different people. Now, I would be more inclined to say that was rigged. Like there must have been something there, but but what really happened is, look, Cincinnati's defense, I can't name you a single guy on that defense. I don't know. There's this white guy, 90-something, who kept running back. Hubbard, I think was his name, kept running, chasing him down. That guy, balling, MVP. And that Cincinnati defense, like, stepped up. They didn't. What was the final score? 27-24. They gave up 3 points in the second half. Mahomes got tired of his own brother's TikTok. All right, why are we picking so much on? He's a kid, bro. Who cares what he does on TikTok? Why is there so much hate to this guy?
He's not a kid. After the game, he went to a little rodeo thing, got on an electric bull, and got a lap dance on it. That's not a kid. Fuck that.
Oh man, look,
he's a grown ass man.
I know he's married, right? Isn't he like 20 and he's married? I think.
I don't know. Fuck that guy. He danced on Sean Taylor's number. Fuck him.
Okay, that part is fine. That part is I agree. But like this whole I don't know. I just found why are we that's what TikTok is. A bunch of people we don't care about.
No, it's not. Because there's people on TikTok who work to get their followers, and he just happens to be a famous guy's brother and gets followers. It's not the same, bro. Some little kid that we've never heard of who goes viral for doing a dance, I'm all about it. But this clown that just because you happen to have a famous brother, you also get to have social media clout, get out of my face with that.
All right, fine. Okay, so fair enough. I'll give you that. But let's go back to Mahomes here, because I don't think that's the reason why Mahomes blew it. But if you guys, if that's what you're, if that's what you're gonna go with, all right.
He was getting distracted seeing him dancing the whole time. He couldn't pay attention to the game, bro.
How are we putting this on Patrick Mahomes though? Because he's not calling the plays. It's the offensive.
Yeah, but he's the one dancing around there, running backwards 30 yards. Edwin is the one who says it's all on the quarterback, win or lose.
Okay,
but he played bad on top of it. You know what I mean?
But I don't feel like he did it. I feel like he did anything differently when he was running around, spinning around in circles in the first half. It was like, oh shit, look at this. He's looking like Steve Young back there and all that.
But it wasn't obvious in the second half. It was obviously not working. It looked like the Bengals figured it out. You're good enough. He's good enough, and the rest of the players are good enough to just be like, hey, maybe we should just run some flats and not.
Hold on, Edwin. What I think they did wrong is they took Tyreek Hill out of the game plan in the second half. I don't know why they took him out of the game plan. He didn't touch the ball the whole entire third quarter. So it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. It was the offensive coordinator changing his whole game.
But they have a guy who led the league in receiving as a tight end. It shouldn't matter.
Let me say this. Look, TD is right on a point there. And I totally forgot what that point was now. It's escaping me.
They took Tyreek Hill out of the game.
No, it was before that. Anyway, look. We can't blame it all on him because what he was doing in the first.
Again, not all on him.
No, but here's what
part of it.
The thing. He was saying, look, what was working in the first half, and the thing is, he's made his career out of that. You know what I mean? He's gone out there, and that's the challenge. For the longest time, he was doing the crazy things, and it was working. And the problem is when you do the crazy things and they don't work, then you're gonna get the criticism. And it was so unbalanced for so long because he was just getting away with, like sidearm passes underneath, diving completely horizontal and throwing it. No, I'm just saying.
Those aren't the problem.
I'm not saying that those were the problems.
He was trying to take more than what was being
given. And here's the thing. And it goes back to you live and die by it. You know what I'm saying? He lived by it for so long, was so successful that he keeps going back to it. And here's the thing. Last week, who did the Chiefs play last week? Is it escaping my... was it the Bills game? The Bills game, he didn't throw a single pass over 20 yards in that game.
Exactly.
Everything he played to the against that urge that he has of live by, die by.
Okay, but that makes it even more obvious that he messed up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is that
on him, bro?
But I'm just saying it stems from that. He's the kind of player that lived by it, died by it, and when he did it right, and you saw it in the Bills game, he can just murder you. Like he's just
great.
He's sick with it.
He doesn't have to do that stuff.
But
my thing is that in the beginning of the season, the Chiefs struggled because they were relying on that. They ended up figuring it out, and they went on that crazy winning streak. So he should have known what to do because they had already figured it out.
Exactly, him and the whole organization.
Exactly,
You've done it before. Why all of a sudden against the Bengals, who haven't been a very good defense all year, all of a sudden you can't figure it out. But against the net number one defense, the Bills, you score 1 million points.
And here's the thing. It goes, and again, here's what happens, man. This is Falcon syndrome. This is Seattle syndrome. Whatever it is, you got the lead late, run the ball. Run the freaking ball. You try to sling it everywhere. You try to get cute. You try to run up scores. Kill the freaking clock. What does Seattle, Kansas City, and the Falcons all have in common here? The same
bad
thing.
Clock management.
Bad clock.
The Bengals were losing, and they were still running.
Yes. And that was the thing. What was frustrating about the Cincinnati's offense, like, man, they kept running on first down. Like, no matter what, it was a run. And they even kept saying, I don't know if it was Collins or whoever it was, Rome was like, oh, here we go. 2nd and 9 again. 2nd and 9 again. Another 2nd and 9. Like, that's what it was. But they kept at it. You know what I mean?
And at the end of the game, when the defense was tired, it was ripping off 7,
exactly.
7, 9, 5.
So again, it's impressive. I do think there's something to be said about Mahomes just not having, like
you said, it's not all his fault. But as the quarterback, you have the ball in your hand. And he's the kind of guy that can call an audible if he feels like it.
Of course.
So if something's not working,
it's $500 million, bro.
Hawaiian shirt mustache guy and Bieniemy keep calling terrible plays. He can take it upon himself to be like, you know what? Hey, go in the flat this time. You don't have to go crazy.
Well, that's what he did. If you saw the video with Kelsey. Kelsey was like, yo, the seam is open. I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that, TD?
Put everything on Patrick Mahomes.
No.
He only threw 1 pick, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Those.
Okay, at the end. But let's just give the Cincinnati Bengals defense credit.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
Because
that's what I'm giving the most credit to.
Changing on what they did and made Patrick Mahomes make him have to play football.
Oh, for sure.
Now, I get what we're going with, did Patrick Mahomes do too much or did he do too less? Let's just give it to the Cincinnati Bengals, man. They just showed up in the second half and just took that thing from them.
But they were getting pressure rushing 3 because they were sending everyone downfield and Patrick Mahomes had to run circles for no reason. Yeah. So, yes, they obviously did something in the second half, but at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes and all the Chiefs offense in general blew it. All of them, not just Patrick Mahomes.
I think
everybody blew it, bro.
The big telling thing is here that we overlook here is Patrick Mahomes was taking sacks late in the game that he didn't need to, that he never takes.
That's what I'm saying.
Going to your point, and that's what I'm saying. That was the big key indicator telling me that Cincinnati, what they were doing was working. And like I said, that Hubbard guy, whatever his name is, somebody's got to look this dude's name up. He was just all over the field. He's the guy who was gassed after that one last run that he had to go to the sidelines, and he's just had his arms up, and he's like, God dang.
Took one play up, and then he came back and got a sack.
Got another sack. Last thing before we go on to the next game here, overtime. Last week, it was, Chiefs got the ball. We never saw Josh Allen. He had a perfect playoffs. And people are clamoring for changing the rules. I don't have a problem with the rules. You have 4 quarters to build a lead, and it comes down to this. It sucks, but I don't want college rules. I don't want to give each team possession.
No one's asking for college rules.
I know. I'm just saying that because that's one suggestion. I don't think we need to give everybody the ball. We need to have 2 people.
Why not?
I like
my favorite awful defense of the current rules is play defense. So when you win the coin flip, you no longer have to play defense. Only the other team. If defense is so important, just get a stop. Okay, why does the other team not just have to get a stop?
Look,
they changed that rule. I think it was 2000 and
it was 12 or 11.
Or Brett Favre. When he cried about not being able to get an opportunity when the New Orleans Saints beat him that year. And they changed the rules based on that because that team kicked a field goal and win the game.
I'm okay. Look, I'm okay with – I'm just saying the other team should get a chance to match. If you score a touchdown on that first drive and the other team doesn't score a touchdown on theirs, you're done. That's it. Game over.
It's so funny when we want to see more football because the other quarterback, we wanted him to – not us. We'll talk about the media or who didn't like that Josh Allen didn't get a chance because he played brilliantly.
Yeah,
but he lost because if it was on the other side we won't be talking about this.
Oh no, of course in that game.
Yeah,
are you out of your mind?
Now, but
of course I'd want Patrick Mahomes to get a chance. He scored in 13 seconds. What
exactly. So, if you want to talk about doing this overtime switch, what it should be is, say for instance they do play another 7 minutes. And then both teams get the ball, and whoever has the most points at the end of that overtime win. But if it goes to overtime again, whoever scores the first point, field goal or touchdown, game is over with.
And
I think it's fine. I think it's fine the way it is.
No, it's fine for the regular season because you don't want these guys playing all that extra football. It's hard enough.
And
but when you come to the playoffs, it's not good. Who cares about regular season overtime games?
Exactly.
You're right. You're right. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Divisional game, if it's a conference game, you care. But if it's a non-conference game, but non-divisional, you don't care about that.
I think it's fine because you got to see why it was designed the way it was, which is you saw Patrick Mahomes throwing a bad deep pass, getting picked off, and that's it. Like that ended it. It was Cincinnati had a chance.
Now, bro, what are you talking about? The stats are of the 13 games. If you win the coin flip, 11 of the times you're the winner. That's not parity. That's not fair. That's not right. That's dumb, bro.
I don't know. I feel like even if we had it the other way, people would complain. Oh, well, if they got a chance to score and then you got a chance to score, then the other team has another chance to score, and then it keeps going. Like, but they scored first. Like, I don't know.
It doesn't.
I feel like it's just impossible to please.
No, that's nonsense.
But
everything's like, the rule sucks, but oh well, that law's dumb, but oops. Like, what are you talking about? That's the worst argument for anything on the planet. Not football rules, life rules, I know it's dumb and it doesn't work, but I don't want to fix it. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
All right, fine. Let's move it along. Let's keep it going here. We're steamrolling through this. Achilles, your boy, the gunslinger. You've been all about it. You've been riding that gunslinger train.
And listen, he almost blew it.
Yes.
The gunslinger gunsling and throw that terrible deep ball right into that man's hands, and he dropped it. But like you said, you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Yep.
And this time you live, bro.
So Rams beat the Niners 20-17. Another comeback there. They were down 17-7 at one point. I don't know what it is. Rams, you've seen them put up points. You've seen them play well, but they play the Niners, and it's just kryptonite. They can't get it together. They had lost their last 4 or 5 straight to them, but when it counted, they came back. They pulled it off. You had that dude. I don't remember. He's got that weird name. His last name is Tart, I think, who dropped that interception.
Traquist, I think it is.
Something like that.
Yeah, 0 interceptions that entire
I know he could have had that one. He would have been a hero.
Damn.
So let me ask you.
That's why he's on defense.
Yeah. Let me ask you, homeboy, who had the worst Sunday? Was it Patrick Mahomes, in his second half debacle? Was it Jimmy G throwing the pick on his last play, ending his Niner career?
Jimmy G. Let's not what a weird thing. I can't believe that happened to him. Come on.
Was it the cornerback from San Francisco? Or
Yes.
was it TD with all of his bad takes all weekend long and watching all of his teams, just totally beat him up? You know what I'm voting for. I think Tanard had it even worse than that Tart guy because I don't think there's any coming back from that. You know what I mean? Everything just imploded in him.
On the line, I just had my passion for my teams. That had a Super Bowl. He get that pick, they're in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
Gets the worst of this whole entire conversation.
Bro, that's the easiest pick that could have existed. Like, that guy struck out at T-ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
With a chance to go to the World Series.
story, because when we went to the Super Bowl in Chicago, Marlon Jackson, who was a safety / nickelback / cornerback for us, could not catch a cold. He dropped every interception when it came for. Ooh, look, that looks horrible.
Oh,
that's bad.
Every practice that week, and he called the interception against Tom Brady to put us in the Super Bowl. That he jumped the slant route and we went to the Super Bowl. That right there was the example of, like, if he would have, I bet you in practice that guy drops every ball, and then what happened in practice showed up in the game.
Yeah, I think with him, I mean, look, Mahomes got 500 million reasons why he's not going to feel too bad about this. Jimmy G's got a lot of reasons why he's not, and he's going to get another contract, and he's going to go somewhere. But homeboy,
handsome, like
he's still good looking. He's still dating porn stars.
In the shade, bro.
Yeah,
like,
he's chilling.
He's been subpar his whole career, and people are just like, "Well, Bill Belichick liked him for a year." And
But this guy over here, who we can't even pronounce his name. We don't know his name. He's got a lot of making up to do, and man, this is gonna be tough. I wish him nothing but success. I hope he overcomes this. But. Man, and then that number 3, I don't like the defense wearing single digits. That whole thing is still tripping me out. Like, it makes it stand out even more how bad that play was. You know what I'm saying? Like, cringe. But yeah, I got him number 2 behind TD as far as who had the worst Sunday. But going back, all right. So what did we learn from the Rams here? They got 200-yard receivers. Odell Beckham, Cup again, doing it all, man. But I'm still worried about the Rams because they don't run the ball, man.
They do. They run it too much. Cam Akers is a fumble machine. And
that was last week. This week,
he's always. I'm just saying, he's always been a fumble machine.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about this week. Yeah.
Well, they were down the whole time. It's not. It's hard to beat the Bengals.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
What I learned about the Rams is that defensive line wasn't as good as I thought they was.
San Francisco's offensive line did a great job.
Yeah.
You got Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, you got Aaron Donald in that middle, and you got Von Miller, who I thought was going to come off. They got some sacks at the end because obviously he had the ball, but the first and second quarter, those guys were invisible. So I want to know how they're going to play with a Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. That is, we can all agree they're just.
But hey. He already got sacked 9. He already showed he can still pull it off getting sacked.
Aaron Donald and Von Miller should be licking their chops.
Oh, yeah.
Going to Cincinnati. And if the defensive line controls that game, I don't think they're going to be able. I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals can be able to do what they did against the Tennessee Titans because the Rams' offense is just too good.
Yeah, true.
I think real talk here, we're looking at this objectively. Obviously, I have reasons to root for the Rams. I've been rooting for them for the last couple seasons. I'm a Rams fan. I've been carrying the flag for the Bengals for the last couple of seasons, unlike Tanard over here. I've been, big supporter of them.
So Tanard has a bunch of quarterbacks, and you have a bunch of teams.
I got a couple. Just a couple. I just got a couple teams. I'm not all over the place here. Listen, I got my heart wants the Bengals to win. I want the Bengals to win. That's the story I would like to see. We'd have the first guy ever to win a Heisman, a national championship, and a Super Bowl as a quarterback. And then there's the whole conspiracy that I think Dan has pointed out, or was it Gus, that they're all named Joe, the only guys to ever win a Super Bowl and a national championship. Crazy.
I think that's just statistics. There's just a lot of people named Joe.
I don't know.
And it's just like math.
But If I'm betting, I'm gonna bet on the Rams because on paper, and you match this up here, man. It just we just went over it. Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp, those are seasoned pros right there, man. As much as I love Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and those guys over there, you got to give the edge to the Rams. On the quarterback, I'll give it a push. But on defense, we just went over. You didn't even mention Jalen Ramsey out there, who, by the way, I like his tweet where he said, dang, Tom Brady retired and I'm the last guy he beat on a touchdown, Yeah. So you got Jalen Ramsey out there. You got Von Miller. You got all these studs, and not to mention what people consider maybe the best player in the NFL, and Aaron Donald, who's a freak. Now, you got 2 weeks off. Maybe TD can enlighten us a little bit about what that's like for a team, because we're talking about how the bye week kind of like hurts teams sometimes, but this is equal now. Both of them are going into it, so it's fair. Now this also could be a good thing for Cincinnati to like regroup and figure out and show some strategery here and see how they're gonna go up against these guys and what they're gonna do, because again, on paper, Bengals are the underdog here. You know what I mean? It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be uphill, but again, we anything is possible right now. Anything is possible. Rams can go into Los Angeles and choke under the pressure of being a home team. You can see that happening. Cincinnati Bengals fans are going to travel well. That stadium's going to be half and half at least. So
are they going to travel well? Are they known for traveling well?
Cincinnati has a good fan base. They've been showing it all over the place. They're just a bunch of losers, but still, now that I'm part of the fan base, it's elevated a little bit. But TD, tell me, in the 2 weeks going into the Super Bowl, when you have that week off and then you have the week, the first week that you're there, is there a lot of like game planning, or is it just like a light practices, or how is it? Or is the first week just as intense as the second week leading up to the game?
It depends on what team you're on. So when I played in Indianapolis and when we won that AFC championship, we were off that Monday, that Tuesday, that Wednesday, and we came back we practiced Thursday, Friday, and left on Saturday to come in on Sunday. We had Monday off and Tuesday off, and then being in Miami, and then we practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Good. Saturday was the walkthrough, Sunday was the game. So you're really off that first week after your conference championship, and those first couple of days when you land into whatever city you in. So you're practicing at the end of it. Game planning is more going into the game that week. Corrections of what you did the week before is the week after the after your conference championship. So that's how we did it. I can't speak for the other team. Yeah. And one thing the coaches try to do going into that week in the organization is get family and friends ready, because you're picking up everybody. The team flies the family, they flies their friends. So the organization is trying to get everybody ready. So what the players can do and the coaches can do is focus on the game. You try to eliminate distractions, and depending, like you're going to LA, so LA is going to have clearly a whole bunch of activities to do there. So depending on what organization you're with, you want to say the Bengals, who has a young coach, he may let the guys go out there and have a good time. Compared to McVay, who's been in a championship and lost, he may try to change things up and say, hey, let's win this because we already home. We already know what LA brings us. Let's hunker down and just finish this thing off right, and we can celebrate this shit the rest of the year.
That's a good point. Yeah, McVay, not only because he's home, but also because, all these coaches and all these players are not just, maybe they're not superstitious, but they are a little stitious. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, I'm not doing anything that we did last time. And I'm going, he's doing it Costanza. Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to do it. If it feels right, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to do the opposite of what it feels, and then and see how that goes. So yeah, that's a really good point there, TD.
Dude, I don't know. Like when I was with Miami FC during that Open Cup run,
yeah,
when we would host Open Cup games, and Nesta would still make the players stay at the team hotel so he could keep an eye on them, so they're not fucking around in Miami before a big game at home, not even on the road. At home, he's like, no. Yep. Round up, get into the hotel, and then we'll go to the game the next day.
Yeah.
Remember the Denver Broncos a couple years back when they played against the Atlanta Falcons? One of the players got arrested for prostitution.
Yes, right here. It was the Super Bowl here.
Yep.
Exactly. So you come from Cincinnati to LA. You got a lot of young guys that, the whole entire team is young. Just think about it. The entire team and the Bengals are young. Going to LA, where it's going to be a million distractions, I think he's going to I hope he bunkers down and say, look, when we win this Super Bowl, we can have a party in LA. We ain't got to go back to Cincinnati. But let's finish this job so we can be able to look back on this and say, yo, we did the right thing.
Absolutely right. And I forgot that. I can't remember the guy's name. But yes, this was the Super Bowl 98, I believe. And the guy who got arrested, he was soliciting a prostitute off 79th Street in Biscayne, and he was actually had just won. Eugene Robinson had just won Man of the Year for his community service that season.
Hey, he was stimulating the local economy, bro.
It was fantastic. It really was.
Are workers too, bro.
Jake Hedge says the Rams are better team individually by players, but the team for Bengals is clicking. I would say we need to sack Joey 10 times to win, but shoot, he just did that in one. Yeah, he got sacked 9 times. So you got to get at least 10 sacks to have a chance to beat old boy over there,
or just score 28 points because the Bengals can't do that in the playoffs.
That's true. That's a good solid here. All right, let's wrap up some NFL talk here. It's been a lot of stuff. Let's get to the local here, which is this news. Brian Flores suing the NFL. This shit hit the fan today. It's interesting. My biggest takeaway is the fact that apparently there was this whole orchestrated meeting, according to the report, between Flores and Ross on Ross's yacht somewhere, right? I like to picture this like maybe somewhere out in the Mediterranean. Like they just flew him over there.
It was right there in Biscayne Bay,
I'd like to picture it. I'd like to picture it like it was out there. And Ross just, Flores walks in, kind of looking around like what's going on. Yeah, results were over in the and he says, "Hey, look, we're gonna tamper, and I don't care that you know about it, but we want Brady." And apparently, there was a hard push for Brady. And then the other shocking revelation is that he was told that he would give him $100,000 per loss so they could tank properly, so they can do a full rebuild on the draft, which I think is a good idea. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
That's a cool, easy mill.
Cool, easy. That's 1.6 mil, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can still win a couple of games and save face and still make $1 million.
Yeah, I think the Bengals got the pick and they had 2 wins that season, and then the Dolphins had 5. We ended up going on that little winning streak, and we went from like a second pick to a 5th. Granted, we still ended up with the second quarterback drafted, which was Tua, but like
swing and a miss.
Yeah, but man,
he still made $1.1 million, I guess.
Well, he was offered that. We were there. I was on the field when he won his first game because he beat the Jets. That was his first career victory. And they doused him with the Gatorade. And then Ross was on the field. I have pictures of it. Ross was on the field there, and he was hugging him. But I guess now looking back at those pictures have another meaning now. He was probably like, "You son of a bitch.
Yep.
You fucked it up. You had one job, Brian. Lose every game, So,
it's literally that meme from The Last Dance where Larry Bird's hugging him. It's like, "You motherfucker."
Oh, man. What do you want to see happen out of this? Like, because I feel, again, we may have had reasons why we thought Flores should have, or maybe earned the firing or whatever. But what's happened post that is not up for debate. This is fucked up. You know what I mean? When the news broke that Brian Flores was fired on the day that first Monday after the season ended, first thing that came out was everybody was shocked. Everybody was surprised. Nobody saw it coming. A few people might have said, "Oh, well, I'm not surprised," but they're very few. The majority was like, "No, this is surprising." On top of that, after that happened, everybody was talking about how now Brian Flores is the number 1 coaching candidate available. He zoomed up to the top of the charts because here he goes. Hey, he got duped. He got shafted. He did a really great job with the Dolphins. Everything's great. And what's happened since then to now, the fact that he still doesn't have a job, that he hasn't really been mentioned as a possible candidate for any of these people. Like, dude, this is fucked up. Like, top to bottom, just fucked up.
Bro, that's the smear campaign. If you don't think that had an effect, you're out of your mind.
Now, do you think it's the smear campaign that had the effect? Or do you think it's just old racist white billionaire owners. Like regardless of the smear campaign was there.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Okay.
If the Dolphins would have just taken the heat for the surprise firing of Brian Flores and just moved on, there's no one getting sued today. I guarantee it.
True.
Okay.
They messed it up and they made it even harder for him to get a job. So he already had to deal with all the bullshit we know exists that he's suing the NFL for. And then on top of that, they made it even easier by like, oh, well, he's an asshole and no one wants to work with him.
Yeah. Evan says, this is Flores. Not only do I know I'm not getting back in the league, I refuse to become your token interview when I already know you don't want me, which is absolutely true. What happened there with the Belichick tweet or the text messages, unbelievable, man. And again, like the Dolphins were maneuvering this for the last couple of weeks pretty efficiently. Ross came out a few weeks ago, says, I'm not going to be the guy to take Harbaugh, and just yesterday, Gus is like, yo, I think this Harbaugh news is about to break. I hope it breaks on the show. And we're like, yeah, I can see it happening. He's going through. He finally said, I think yesterday, the day before, that he wants to look at his NFL options. So everything was lining up. All these other coaching candidates had gone everywhere else, and the Dolphins hadn't made a move yet. So it was like, all right, they're playing the PR game. They're playing it perfect. They're playing it perfectly, and all of a sudden, this today breaks like a bomb, and it's like, wow, bro, we just can't do anything right. This franchise, this guy. Do you see what?
Think about how many African American coaches have more than 2 years of coaching without getting fired.
Yep.
Right? Had 2 years, and then you go on to the guy who's in Houston who only had a year. That's why they're considered token coaches.
Yeah.
Token guys. Like, okay, we're going to hire a black coach this year so we can say we're following within the rules of the NFL, but we have our eyes on Harbaugh. We have our eyes on, Chip Kelly, because we know in 2 years they're going to be available. So they just fool around with this guy. And if he becomes something great, oh well. If he doesn't, we already had our game plan. So I can understand his pain. They got to find cause to see if he was actually blackballed. But if there's cause, the NFL is going to have another black eye when it comes to racism or anything that's causing any kind of separation or discrimination, because they just got rid of the Kaepernick stuff. Now they're about to add this, and it's going to be another 4 years of this kind of bullshit we have to deal with when it comes.
Bro, as long as Mike Glennon keeps getting money, the Kaepernick discussion will never go away.
Yeah, total shit show, man.
And you also know that things are so bad race-wise for the NFL that something I noticed this year in the offseason were teams were tweeting out graphics that they were interviewing black people for their GM jobs. Like, wow, thanks for letting me know. Good work. Like, that's the most shocking thing I've ever seen in my life. Not that you hired, that you interviewed a black guy. You're like, oh, wow, here, we got to put it on social. Let everybody know, bro. Like,
we're doing our part.
Bad, dude.
We're helping.
People, and I see a couple Mexicans, and I say, hey, look, guys, I got these Mexicans.
Look.
House. I'm doing a favor for the community.
Ridiculous, dude.
Hey, that's what they're there for. It doesn't make any sense to even bring that up. If you got to be your GM, race shouldn't matter. But if you want to say, hey, look, I'm hiring a guy, he's black, I interview him, he's a black guy. Shut up, man.
This is why I always side with the players. Because these are millionaire players going up against billionaire owners. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, dude. Like, it's not an even fight. It's not going to be a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? So to me, seeing a guy like, remember what happened with Tomlin? Who was the?
It was the Dolphins.
It was the Dolphins, but who was the guy? I don't think it was Ireland. Somebody else said, no, that Tomlin guy, he's too hip hop.
He's too hip hop, yep.
He's too hip hop for us. And then they went with Cam Cameron.
He's never had a losing record.
Never had a losing record.
Ever.
Nothing.
No. He doesn't even have a rap album or a mixtape.
He doesn't have a losing record or an album. You know what I mean? Get over it.
He's known for being the most prim and proper, militaristic, by the book coach in the whole NFL.
Yep. True.
That's just pure racism.
Yep.
And that's the thing, man. We're gonna have more and more of this, and unfortunately, until we start seeing some changes when it comes to the ownership, when we start seeing some more minority owners, because there's a couple, but they're not making a dent. It's not really doing anything, until you see a bigger shift in that, we're not going to have anything. It's just going to be way too difficult, and we're going to continue to have these problems because they have all the leverage, they have all the power. Billions of dollars will do that. I hope. Is there something that we hope happens like to the Dolphins here with this whole lawsuit here, or
nothing is going to happen? The NFL already put out a statement against Brian Flores, straight up. They didn't were like, oh, we're going to look into it. No, they were like, no, this is bullshit, and we're standing behind our owner. So nothing's going to happen.
Man, it's a shame though, because I would like to see. I don't know. A friend of mine was texting me today. He's like, man, I hope Ross loses the Dolphins, and I'm thinking like, man, this guy. He's kind of right.
Bro, if Daniel Snyder can still be the owner of the Washington football team, no one else is ever getting their team taken away. That Richardson guy from Carolina, he just got. He had to be the one sacrificial lamb until they murder someone. And even then, probably not.
That's true.
They're ever going to take another team. After what's happened with Washington, bro, no team is getting taken away.
They have to kill animals. That's the most. You kill somebody, you kill a dog or a cat, get them out of there.
Yeah, unless it in the discovery for this trial, if it doesn't come out that Stephen Ross steps on hamsters to get aroused, he's not.
Yep. Unbelievable. Jake Hedge on YouTube says, I just hope him screaming racism doesn't ruin his career. He's a good coach and he should be in the league, but suing teams and the NFL isn't ever a good look. It's not a good look, but it's the right look, and he has to bring, and I'm glad that he's out there carrying the flag and, saying, hey, this is fucked up, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, who's more likely to coach again, John Gruden or Brian Flores?
Brian Flores.
Yeah.
You think so?
No, dude, John Gruden's done. He's done. No, I take it back. Baylor might hire him to be their football coach because they don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. But then again, you have the black guy who sued the NFL and called every other owner racist.
Yeah.
And they'll get a hand slap, and then someone will hire him. Like, all right, fine, we'll hire you. Please don't take us to court.
He'll be a defensive coordinator. John Gruden couldn't be a coordinator. He'll have a position. He'll be a DB coach or quality. Somebody will hire him. But he'll be a head coach.
If he coaches ever again, John Gruden, it'll be in college, bro. He's done in the NFL.
So how are we feeling about Harbaugh to Miami? Is that still? It's still to me? It's going to happen, right? You can't go through all this, sacrifice Brian Flores. Although that would be that would be the most Dolphin thing that could happen, which is we go through all this trouble, and just like we did 10 years ago when we flew to the West Coast chasing Harbaugh, came back with our tail between our legs and re-signed Sperano, as a lame duck coach. Maybe this is definitely what we deserve. Harbaugh needs to just say, no, I'm not going down there. I don't care how much of a booster you are. I don't like what you're doing. This guy's suing you. I'm not going to be the guy involved in that. I'm going to Minnesota or I'm staying in Michigan. I like the snow.
Right. You gotta work on the we. We're not Dolphin fans anymore.
That's
not
right.
We, them.
That's right.
That's a them problem.
I can definitely see that happening though. I can 100% see Harbaugh saying, "Yeah, I don't want to be part of this mess."
Right?
At all.
Why?
At this point, just get out of here.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I'll tell you something though. I was a friend of mine was like, "Yo, you Dolphins are just a hot mess, and you've been a hot mess forever." And it got me thinking. I was like, And it really reminded me of something here. And this Spicy Sports Nuggie, brought to you by Tanard Davis. No. It's But this is very disappointing, man. This is very sad. At one point, the Dolphins were were looked at the same way we look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. A class organization. Had their run-ups, but historically reliable.
There's an infographic where up until 2000, they were one of the winniest teams in the history of the NFL up until that point, and it just went.
TD, the Dolphins came into existence in 1966. From 1970, right? We'll give them the first 4 years while they were, a new franchise here. But from 1970 to 2003, the 34-year span, right? The Finns had only 2 losing seasons, right? They went to 5 Super Bowls, won 2, and only had 3 head coaches. That was as rock solid as a team as you could possibly have.
It just went to shit.
And it completely went to shit from 2003 to now. What is this? 19 years later? It's Bro, it's the worst. It's the worst of the worst. There's nothing that we have to be happy about or to be proud of, man. It's really, really just a shame. How does that make you feel, TD?
I agree, man. I agree because when you think about the Dolphins, I was making the faces, but we did have a first-class organization.
Yeah.
Aiden Huizenga, even though he was kind of like scumbaggy, but he did let
all are, bro.
Let the GM be the GM. He let those people do their job, and we had winning football.
Yeah.
Now we're touching on Browns. We're going to probably be the new Bengals.
Tiger, Lions. We're new Lions, bro.
We haven't won a Super Bowl since 73. That's how many years now?
That's a long time. I can't count that much.
50?
Oh, that's 50 something.
50 years. So
next year it'll be 50.
Is Ross the problem? Obviously, because it starts from the top down. But if he gets a good coach that stands his ground, most likely
he had one.
Well,
he was black, so
he'll take some attitude. He'll take a little attitude from Jim Harbaugh, but from Brian Flores, fuck that.
TD just turned Stephen Ross into Donald Sterling.
Talk to me that way. That's how Steve Ross looked when he said something to him. So,
look, Stephen Ross has been the owner for like 20 years now, and he's in his 80s. So that means he bought the team at a certain point in his life in his 60s where he was like, all right, I got some time here till we can turn this around, considering the history that they had 34 years of success, and he's totally trashed it. And now he's in his mid to late 80s, and he's getting more and more desperate. Like, this is not a recipe for success here. This is more and more bad decisions, overcorrections, overreactions, and overreaching, and meddling that it's just, man, Dolphins, sorry for you guys, man. Good thing I'm a Bengals fan.
Bengals!
Yeah. Teddy, who are you rooting for more next year? The Browns or the Titans? I don't know. Like, where's your rankings here?
My heart goes to Baker Mayfield. But my quarterback is Joe Burrow.
Damn, Tannehill's just all the way off the list now.
Wow, dude. You realize it took you three seasons to realize what it took us, just like 1 or 2, but we had to live with it for 8.
Look, man, this guy took the Tennessee Titans to the playoffs 3 years in a row.
No.
Whatever you want to say. The Dolphins didn't make the playoffs since this guy left, and they're not going to make the playoffs ever again.
If you're not going to give Joe Burrow credit for winning games, I'm not giving Tannehill any credit. That was all Derrick Henry and a defense, okay?
Credit? What are you talking about?
Derrick Henry. That Tannehill has the best. I'll give you what Tannehill has the best handoff arm I've ever seen in the NFL. His handoff arm is spectacular. Like, it's a thing of beauty.
Ever.
Yeah. Every time he goes back there, I'm like, oh, this isn't a botched handoff here at all. And if it is, it's the running back's fault. Always.
I give you this, Edwin. I have my concerns the same way you do about Ryan Tannehill. He scares the bejesus out of me in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to lie. But he still is my guy. I want him to win because how the Dolphins shitted on him, you should want to root for him too. It's not his fault the Dolphins are fucking shitty. It's the Dolphins organization.
That I agree. You can't win with Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs. He's perfectly good in the regular season, bro. He carried the team. Yeah, no, dude, this year he carried that team. Derrick Henry was out, and they still were the number 1 seed.
I'm not going to fight no more. I agree. When Ryan Tannehill's in the playoffs, I'm really holding my check like this, like I'm scared. But I still want him to win. So,
look, Ryan Tannehill and confidence are 2 words that have never gone together. Okay, you're just anytime he's involved, there's no confidence. You're gonna be holding everything and just praying, and unfortunately, that's never gonna work out for you.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Teddy, you're gonna stick with us. We're gonna talk a little Heat here to wrap up the show, but I know you got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
You gonna bounce?
Hey, let's see. I gotta bounce. But listen, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm not queer, and I miss you.
Okay. All right. There it is.
Thank you, number 1 Joe Burrow fan. Thank you.
Fuck your life. Bing bang.
All right, Teddy. Have a good night, brother. We love you. All right. And We needed a little TD there.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, let's wrap up the show here. Let's put a little quick bow on here. We went long there with the NFL stuff, but man, it was too juicy.
Too much.
So much stuff.
There's too much.
So much juice there. Shout out to Dennis. He had to bounce and TD. So it's just us three here. Little late night with the juice. Little late night juice here. All right. Bad night. Heat and Panthers lose tonight, huh?
Oh man.
About that. That's not good.
So much negative energy in the air.
We lost the revenge game to the Raptors tonight after being up at halftime.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Duncan
Robinson's fault.
They were up at the end of the third quarter, bro.
They're gassed. They've played that stupid triple overtime game and then had to play another game on the road a day later, bro.
They were short today too. I think some guys were out. I didn't see exactly who it was.
Everyone was out. Everyone was out for the Celtics game, and they're back. Whatever.
Okay.
It was Jimmy and PJ, but they were back. But still, they're gassed.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. But
it happens, man.
And the Panthers, bro, on the road, they are not good. They're not good. It's a problem.
Well, let's start. Let's keep with the Heat.
Rangers.
Let's keep with the Heat, though. Let's keep with the Heat here. Okay, so first place in the East, tied with the Bulls. We're 32-20 now after tonight's loss, I believe. Right, so we're 12 games over 500.
Well, now it might not be first place anymore unless the Bulls lost today. Also,
or we came into today at first place. We'll go with that. We're on a 3-game skid now, right?
Yeah, 3-game skid.
3-game skid.
Skid row.
Oh, that's not a good look for us,
Skid marks in your underwear.
Yeah. I'm still confident. I'm still confident.
I'm not worried.
Still good, right?
Yeah.
Heat in 3. Heat in 3.
He in 3 all day.
Dude, of course, bro.
Yeah.
Will they finish as the number 1 seed? I don't know. I don't give a shit either because I know we could beat all the other teams. So I don't care. It's not a big deal.
All right. More likely to finish as the number 1 seed, the Heat or the Panthers?
Panthers. I think the Panthers. Panthers. Actually, I saw the Panthers have the most road games to close out the season, so they're in trouble too, bro.
That's tough.
And
the Heat are the opposite.
The Heat are the opposite. Yeah, gotta go Heat.
Gotta go Heat. All right.
I think the Heat. They just need to keep it together until the All-Star break, and then they can regroup. Come back at the end. Come back in the second half of the season with all those fucking home games, bro.
and Oladipo's on his way back, and so is Markieff Morris. So we're gonna have a 15-man rotation, all home games. It'll be fun.
What's up with Lowry though? Did he play today?
No, man. I don't know what. It's personal reasons, and that's all they say.
Man, no. So that's what I was gonna ask you. So nothing else has come out from that, huh? They haven't really elaborated on what the personal reasons are.
Like Spo, they always ask Spo and Jimmy about it. They're like, "Hey, personal reasons, and we support them." That's it. Like they don't move off that line. So whatever it is, that's fucked up. I feel bad. Like I can't imagine.
That's a little. All right. But anyway, all right. So we got the Heat. 3-game skid right now. Panthers 1-game loss.
It's not a skid. It's that they are not the same team on the road. They just aren't, and I can't understand it. There's gonna be a little difference home and away, fine, but they are literally the best team in the NHL, and then a barely under 500 team on the road. That's shocking.
And they're putting up baseball scores still, which I love. Like that to me is just the best thing. They put up 8 the other night. They've had a couple of 9-pointers, 9-goal games here.
I think in two games against Columbus, they've scored 17 goals.
Yes. Good God. And they gave up 4, but you don't even feel bad because they scored 8. You know what I mean? It's like,
I didn't watch that game, but I heard that the score was 5-4 at one point. That's not good. That's not good against that garbage ass team. It doesn't matter that you scored 8. It wasn't like it was 8-1 and then you dicked around and they scored 2 extra goals or whatever. You know what I mean?
See, here's the thing, though.
Close game.
Here's the thing
they're like the Golden State Warriors, bro. Fuck defense. Let's just go score a lot of points.
And here's the thing with the Panthers right now. They kind of feel like NFL playoff football. 21-3, down 4-0. It's all right, bro. Dude. We're in this game.
They played the Sharks the other night. They were down 2-0 after the first period, and you're like, too much time. Bad move, Sharks. Bad move, bro.
You scored your goals too early. Way to blow your load so quick, San Jose. Man, that's true. That's where we are right now. Sports right now is just in a weird place, huh? Nothing makes sense.
Defense doesn't exist in any sport
at all,
except for I guess baseball, because pitching is crazy.
Well, yeah, the pitching has gotten better, and it's all boom or bust. Small ball is out. Nobody's playing real good baseball anymore.
That's the only reason I watch baseball.
What, boom or bust?
Like small ball, defense, runners. Oh, yeah. That's what I like. I don't care.
2003 is about as sexy as baseball ever got, bro. That was like sex baseball, man. You had Juan Pierre leading off. He would bunt, get to first base on a bunt. Okay, then Luis Castillo would come over and he'd slap a hit opposite field, right? Juan Pierre would be so fast because he was stealing, on the first pitch. So it was a hit and run. They couldn't throw to second. They'd either get the force at first or they'd have runners on first and second. Then what happens? Pudge comes up third. Just gets a looping single. In comes Juan Pierre, JP, beast mode. 1-0 Marlins. I know, right? 1-0 Marlins. No outs. Runners on first and third. Miggy comes up, hits a double, scores 2. It's 3-0. Ball game. That's it. Josh Beckett pitches 9 innings, shutout, baseball, sex dripping everywhere, bro. Marlins sex, love it.
I'm just saying,
best ever.
If you're someone who enjoys small ball baseball, you have to give softball a chance because that's what it is. It's the fastest, wild running around. Like it's frantic watching a softball game. Like
it is. I've watched
that style. It's fun. Like, and I grew to like it because I worked in college sports.
Yeah.
Like I understand. Like you're not seeking out like a random college. I get it. But like if you ever feel like you meant, damn, I missed that. Just watch one every once in a while.
I watch. I like watching Little League too. I watch the Little League World Series. That's Gus's favorite event of the year.
Stupid kids.
You know what? I had a Gus moment tonight. Okay, so get this. I come home from work today and I go outside to walk the dogs. I take them on a nice walk. We're going around. I'm in this new neighborhood. I'm still feeling it out. And I do like a 30-minute walk. I get back to the house and I realize I locked myself out of my own home. I'm like, fuck, this is gonna suck. So I gotta wait. I gotta make a phone call, wait for Cindy the intern to get home and save the day because she's the superhero and I'm the super dumbass. So of course she's laughing at me the whole time. So I decided what am I going to do? I got no wallet, no keys, no, I just got 2 dogs and, they've done everything. So we started walking. We ended up going over to this local baseball field over here. Really nice. Really nice little baseball field here. They even have parking. Francho Park. They even have parking for golf carts. For golf carts, like their own golf cart parking lot. I was like, wow. And it was packed.
Color Bay is a golf park vibe, bro.
Oh, it is.
Golf cart vibe.
Super weird. I don't get it. But anyway, they're there. It's crazy.
Oh, you're going to get it.
Yeah, pretty soon.
In 2 to 3 years, you're going to be out there and you're tricked out fucking golf cart.
Yeah.
Hey, the local kids are playing. Let's go watch the game.
Hop in. I'll take you. I'm going to be that guy. I got a cooler in the back. Grab yourself a brewski. Let's go. It's okay because it's electric. I can drive. That's going to be me doing that. But anyway, so I take the little walking trip, which is like 2 blocks to the ball field, and I start watching it. And, bro, I was severely disappointed. All these kids sucked. I was like, this is what Gus,
dude.
I was like, this is what Gus feels like when he watches all these kids play. I was like, yeah, man. This is why he hates it. I don't know. I was really like,
I was talking about this with my brother. He's about to have a kid. He's like, oh, I can't wait to get him into soccer because it's so cute to watch little kids play soccer.
Yeah,
because they just run around, they kick the ball, and it doesn't matter that they don't know what's going on. It's still cute. Baseball is hard. It's a game of skill. So you're just doing this, and you can't you expect a kid to make a diving save at shortstop and sling it to first base. No, it's just like.
But see, here was my takeaway tonight. I'm watching this and I'm thinking, man, it's a generational divide. The gap, it's a chasm. It's humongous, from what it was when I was a kid to now. When I was a kid, baseball was life. I was like Danny Rojas from Ted Lasso.
That doesn't mean you guys were good. That doesn't mean you guys were good.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like I was watching. I was like, man, I was not this bad at this age. Like these kids are not very good. Like they weren't getting the basic fun. Like there's a guy on second, throw it a third, or like it was basic stuff that they were doing wrong. And I'm there like, wow, like they have all the look. They have, you know, they got the helmet, they had their shades on, they got the batting gloves, they got like what I call postalita, you know, they got the whole look down. And then they go up there, but then they don't know how to do the basic stuff. And I'm thinking, is this like a thing that you grow up now as a kid and you're just, and I get it, maybe baseball now is not looked at as like the fun thing to do, but it's looked at like, that's what my parents want me to do, but I'd rather be home playing Fortnite or something, you know, like there's a lot more options.
Or football or soccer.
Or something else, you know?
That's fun.
Yeah, and I get it. And I think there's just more competition now. And I was looking at it, I was like, man, it's just, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not one of these dads because that's another whole nother thing. I don't want to be a baseball dad. Like, those guys are nuts. My nephew's one of them, and he's like, oh, and I just like, I can't, bro. I can't. I'm not going to get mad at a kid for messing up.
No, that's just a sports dad. That doesn't you. I played plenty of sports when I was a kid, and my parents were psychopaths about it.
See, I don't want to be that, you know?
My dad was a psychopath.
Don't be that.
For sure, for sure.
My dad got thrown out of a couple games.
Big Gus over there.
Like there was a local park when I was growing up that I used to play basketball all the time, and there was this one mean ass dad that always brought his kid out there, was running him through drills, just always on his ass, and I'm just me dicking around and would fucking smoke that kid all the time. It doesn't make your kid better. If your kid's good, he's going to be good regardless. Just because you're a hard ass isn't going to elevate them. Like, you either have it or you don't.
No, you're absolutely right. But see, me as an observer, a neutral observer watching it today, and I was like, I don't have any skin in this game, but I'm watching these kids and I'm like, bro, but you could tell, like, and I'm like, I can't, like, I remember as a kid, it was like the Sandlot, you know, it was like, we really took pride in understanding the stuff. And I never played organized baseball. I never played in little league or anything like that. We played like, you know, in our neighborhoods and stuff like that. I was like, but we yearn for it. And I feel like, man, this is just not there.
It. Yeah, like you said, you grew up with it. Growing, like the amount of parents who are like, I'm a baseball person and I want to make sure my kid's in the baseball is 1% of America.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? Now you mentioned Fortnite earlier, Edwin. Yeah. Now those kids, how you were about baseball, they're like that about video games. Hop on a game and just fuck around, and some kid is gonna tear you a new asshole.
Exactly. The kid will tear me a new asshole. When I used to hop on games
verbally.
Yeah, exactly. I would hop on games. That was something we played as kids growing up when it was raining because we couldn't go outside to play. We played like Nintendo on a rainy day, you know? And even then, I never understood or knew any game as well as these kids know any of the games now, you know? Now, again, there was also Nintendo games when I was a kid, which it's a whole class of difficulty on its own. Like, you know, classic NES is considered like the hardest skill level there is because those games were impossible to beat, you know? But these kids are just more like in tune with this stuff. And I was kind of like watching them and I was just kind of sad. And to answer Eben's question here, how old were these kids? They were like, I'd probably say like they no older than 10. Maybe like they were in that
young, dude. That's young, especially if you've never grown up on baseball.
I'd say
young, dude.
I'd say like 10 to like maybe I don't know, maybe 12. I don't know. There was some that were kind of small. It was like in that young age, you know. But still, it was a thing, bro. Like I don't know. It was. They look like the Sandlot kids. That's what I'm saying. But like the smaller ones. Anyway, I was kind of disappointed. So after an hour and a half of being outside wandering my neighborhood without any keys, I finally was able to get back home and get in from the cold. But yeah, that's what was going down over there. Anyway, we're at the almost at 1.5 hours, man. We've gone pretty long today. So much for a restream. Gus,
there will be no restream tomorrow. Sorry, everybody.
Much to talk about.
Yeah, too much. Way too much. I want to thank the participation on the chat today. It's been pretty lit there. Jake, Eben, and
from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. Yeah, Jake from YouTube coming in here and commenting and giving us his takes. Cindy, the intern, starting us up. Big thank you.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Come on, say it. Who's gonna say it? Khakis.
Obviously, one last thing, just in case.
Yes.
Everyone needs to know the number one basketball team in the nation, Auburn University, is up 53-44 on Alabama tonight. Just quick update on basketball that actually.
I'll give you that, bro. I'll give you that because you are an Auburn diehard and your team is number one. You have all reason to talk shit. Yeah. It's not. Oh, my team is pretty good. You guys should watch. We're like 12 and climbing the Power 25 rankings. No, you guys are number one. I'll give it to you.
Don't throw shade at the Canes like that, bro.
No, I know. You're not Canes fans right now, so good. I'll give you that much. I do want to circle back to what we talked about at the beginning, real quick here, real fast before we roll out here. This. We talked about Djokovic. We talked about Federer, and we talked about Nadal. Whose team are you guys? Who's your boy out of all these? Because I've always been a Federer guy. That's been my dude. Nadal's been my number 2. Djokovic, far 3.
To me, what's great about them is that they're the perfect spectrum of types of players. Because you have Federer on one side, who just finesses the absolute shit out of you.
Oh, for sure.
That guy hasn't broken a sweat, and you're about to drop dead because he's just working your ass.
Bro, the Federer one-handed backhand is one of the sexiest things in all of sports.
He exerted next to no effort, right? And then you have
up there
Nadal.
with Griffey's swing. It's up there with Ken Griffey Jr. home run as far as like the sexiest things in sports.
Yeah, and then you have Nadal, who's the opposite, who's just all power and athleticism and running around and ripping shots.
Yeah,
and then you have
germs
Djokovic in the middle, who's just like a perfect, like he does it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who you think is best is what style you like, not necessarily who's better. So, but like I said, I think it's awesome that they're all 3 great and they're all 3 different, also like play styles. Yeah. And listen, I have a little Spanish. I'm always going to be Nadal.
I get you.
And he's just so much fun to watch playing sliding around on the clay, whipping shots around the side of the fucking net like an animal. Like, oh.
You said it. He's definitely probably when they're all playing at their peak, he's probably the most fun to watch because he makes it. You're like he's that guy who just he's doing that extra stretch and that extra thing, and you're just like, well, when Federer is like Aaron Rodgers, he makes it look easy. It's that kind of
not even
just boom, boom, boom. I'm telling you, I stood next to Federer right after a match, and he smelled like beautiful cologne, and I was just captivated. I was just
for sure
captivated by him, bro.
Slice,
man,
get out of here, bro.
I will say, I a few. I think it was like a year ago. I think I did a whole little segment on one of our shows about Joker, and what he was doing and what he was accomplishing. I respect the guy. I think his story is great player.
And has been a trash person his entire career.
Yeah, he's getting he's getting trashier. I'll give him that,
which is almost impossible.
Yeah. But again, man, the biggest takeaway I have is that when they said, I'd like to give credit to whoever said it. I don't remember where I heard it, but somebody said, look, tennis has had 3 Michael Jordans playing at the same time.
They've been saying that on Lebatard's show.
Yeah.
That's been his thing.
I don't think I heard it there. I think I heard it somewhere else. I feel like I saw it on TV. That's why. But anyway, it was 3 Michael Jordans.
Somebody that stole it from Lebatard.
Probably. 3.
Who stole it from us? Probably because they steal our.
Everything. All that shit. They steal from us. Fancy guy. It's called the Duke of Beef Wellington. Okay, get out of here. But what's it called again? It's just so fascinating, bro. And we've been so fortunate. I think obviously the current generation, like this era of sports that we've lived in. And I was having this conversation with my friend today. I was telling him, like, we've had 3 goats of tennis playing at the same time. We've had the 2 soccer goats, sharing 10 years of their careers together and giving us multiple matchups. You know what I mean? We've had the passing of a torch from a Jordan to a Kobe to a LeBron, and we haven't skipped a beat. You know what I mean? We've had all that. The only sport that hasn't had anything like that has been baseball since the Big Bashers.
No one cares, dude.
Yeah,
we've had some of the best players.
Yeah, but look at Mike Trout, bro.
And no one gives a shit.
But the thing is, they haven't held that clout, that stardom, that whole total package.
No one cares about the sport anymore.
It has. Unfortunately, the sport is great. There's a ton of talent, and there's a lot of young and great athletes and incredible players. But that superstar, the last one was Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds, the McGuires, the Sosas.
Do you think the decline of baseball, of its popularity, has more to do with just the fact that the game is not as exciting to people, or do you think it has to do with the fact that a lot of the people that dominate the sport nowadays are not American?
I don't think it's that. I think there's more non-Americans dominating now, and it's going to continue to grow because it's becoming a more diverse sport, which I love. But the thing with baseball, it has always had to battle with the fact that it's a long sport. It's considered a boring sport.
And you can't alter baseball to make it more exciting. You just can't. Because the game is the game.
This baseball game is being played the exact same way it was played 100 years ago for Babe Ruth. You know what I mean?
It's not like football where you can invent new rules and the quarterback can do whatever they want. Or in the NBA, you can create different rules and
3-point shot, there's different ways to dribble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And baseball's baseball, bro. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Jimmy Fox hit 50-something home runs, 140 RBIs 100 years ago, and this guy's going to do the same thing now. You know what I mean? It hasn't changed. That's the beautiful part of it. That's one of the things that I love about baseball because, again, it goes back to being the most numbers game of all. You know what I mean? The numbers really mean stuff, and they're important. But I'm not going down that path. But baseball hasn't had that stardom guy.
It never will, is what I'm saying.
It's not that it never will.
Compete. You can't compete with the other sports anymore. You just can't.
I think you still can. It's just
Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, those are two generational all-time great players, and no one gives a shit because it doesn't translate into highlights the same. You can't go on YouTube. And again, it's not their fault. No. It's just the sport is the way it is, and you're never going to be more exciting than Steph Curry or Tom Brady or whoever it is that's doing all this crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely right. I'm just not quick to rule it out and say never again because, again, everything you just said has always applied to baseball. You know, it's always been
but that's the thing. It's the market is crowded. There's other options now. Yeah. Where it was baseball for 100 years, and then the other stores started coming, and now they're here, and it's it's the same reason why we say sports in Miami is tough because there's too much other shit to do.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
There's too many other sports and too many other things going on.
I'm just not going to rule out one good sex scandal that could really liven up baseball again. You know, just give it to me. You know,
Tatis is everything you want in a young superstar.
There's going to be like one.
You know what I mean? He's fun. He's a fun guy. He plays fun. He hits home runs. No one cares because it's baseball. Unfortunately,
I don't know. There's going to be either there's going to be like a guy who's like openly gay and like really flamboyant, and then that guy's going to tear it up, and people are going to be like, oh, okay, there's something to talk about. Or some guy who's like dating nothing but prostitutes, and he's like, it's going to take something real out there.
Dude,
you know,
for as much as I don't care for him, Derek Jeter was the last baseball player that it mattered in this country.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But I'm still holding off hope that we can have another Derek Jeter type player.
Never.
We'll see. I mean,
the captain went down with the ship, bro.
Yeah,
it's true.
You just love baseball too much.
I love baseball. It's so sexy. Yeah. It's my love. I love it so much. I added some new bobbleheads to my collection. You can't see what's behind me.
I sit here and watch garbage ass Marlins games all the time.
I can't wait.
Because I like baseball's a good sport. It is a good sport, but I understand why people don't want to pay attention.
Well, Evan says here as we wrap up here, the last major stars baseball had were taken down because of PEDs, despite the fact that everyone was on PEDs. And he also says hockey hasn't had a major star since Gretzky. They've had some stars. Gretzky was the last.
Go watch a Panthers game, my friend. Huberto, there.
We got like 6 of them just on.
Exactly. Come on.
Except not today because they didn't play well.
We have that rookie Lundell who set every rookie record in the last game.
So far, yeah, he's been killing it. So
it was the third line had like 15 total points, like
something like that. All right, this is going to conclude and wrap up here another edition of the Evening Juice with Lemon City Live, Season 8, Episode 5. Big thank you to TD for joining us. Hopefully get him back in the fold a little more regularly here. We had the gang back together, a nice little reunion. It was good times. Thank you, Achilles. Thank you, Gus, for making the time. As always, check us out. We'll be back next Tuesday. And other than that, have a great rest of your week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, do all that good stuff. Help us out. We appreciate it. Until we see you next time. Adios, muchachos. Bye-bye.